Okay, let's see how it works. Is it working or not? Oh yes, it's working. Excellent. Yeah, we'll just mute this tab, pin, and then get to the Trello. There should be a chat somewhere here. Chat, tools, docs, chat. I don't think anyone will join anyway. Alright, so what's on the list to do is character set upgrades, currency, real-time mode, yeah, spells, and inventory. We also do not have any bugs. That's good. We have the battle system working, so that's a plus. Let's test it out first to make sure everything is correct. Okay. Yeah, it looks like it's working. One of them should die very soon. Oh, excuse my notifications. Okay, back to work. Let's see what we have here. The character's dead, and he's on his back. Well, kinda. He has his Helbret or Helbert stuck in the terrain, or oh, not this. I need him to be like this, then sleep on his back like this. Oh, I'm dead. Then we need some facial expression on his face. Alright. Let's just focus on the progress. In progress is spells. We have to add spells to the characters. Team 1 spell, team 2 spell. It's basically just the spells casted by each character during each round. This is only used for the turn-based battles, where everything is calculated on the server side, then it's replayed on the client side. So the server calculates all this information and then sends this object to the client. It has the round, it has the winner, team 1, team 2, base objects. It will not serialize the whole thing. It will just serialize the entity and names and the stats. Oh, which is everything basically. And it will serialize the round data, which contains the spells, consumables, the damages. Alright, let's see how it works on the client side. So I have a mock-up battle here. It's all client-sided. The connection to the server has not been made yet. We have 6 rounds, and each round we specify the spells, the consumables, and the damage. The last 2 are the damage values. So I just put some random numbers here, and the last one, team 2 will deal 100 damage, which is what, 75% of the health, right? Oh, not 70, maybe 70%. not even 70%. Well, it's just 100 of 150 HP. There's the while loop, increments the round, gets the round data, then loops 2 times. It's a for loop, basically 2 for 2 teams. Then we have team 1 and team 2. If the integer is 0, it just grabs team 1. This is the team 1 round, or the team 1 turn. And after all this information is processed, we just end the round and go back to the round increment. Alright, yeah, let's just get the spells done, and then we hopefully get some inventory going as well, so we can have our upgrades, buying weapons, selling weapons, and maybe trading items. We will also be creating a database today. It's called Hades SQL. Yeah, this is the Clashing Blades database. Where's the other database? Okay, let's create a new database for now. Clash of Dynasties. No spaces. Right, let's leave it at that, and then we will input all our information in this database. I need to close this one. Okay. So we should have a few tables here. I will also add one here in progress. Database setup, and I will just mark this as where the labels. Mark it as important, red for important, and the inventory is not so important, so I will do orange. And the database, let's do what, blue? I don't know what blue is. Alright, let's just add some classes. COD is not Call of Duty, it's Clash of Dynasties. And COD spell. Let's do this. Spell is, let's add information to the spell. We will have to add spell ID, public float, spell cast time. You know what? Let's remove spell from the property names. Let's just keep ID, cast time, public float, cooldown, private float, last used. Yeah, let's keep it capitalized. Well, let's keep this a field. Right. ID, cast time, cooldown. Well, I have some ideas for the code here, which is we can either have it like have a specific set of spell types, projectiles, AoE, damage over time or damage over turns, and healing and stuff like that, and then we define these the behavior for these spells. Or we can have a system where you can, for each spell, you have to create a custom class or custom script that handles the behavior for this spell. Kind of like some games do it. I do believe League of Legends does that with their spells. Their spells are basically each spell is in a class. It's an individual class file, and if you want to modify a spell, you do not modify this information. You go to the class it's created in and then modify the behavior, add code or remove code, add some funny stuff to it. That would be nice, but for this I just need to prototype fast, because this is supposed to be a prototype, so we have to finish some things quite fast. Maybe by tomorrow or by Monday we should have something working, multiplayer and all, and hopefully we will have the real-time mode implemented as well, along with the database and inventories, and maybe some upgrades. Right, let's leave it at that, and then public spell type. Let's create that enum. Oh, what's going on here? Generate new type. Yeah, let's add it to this file. Whoa, what? Yeah, let's just keep it here. Public. I could have written that faster. So let's assign it a byte value. Right. Spell type. The default is instant. Instant works for basic attacks. So as soon as you cast, after the cast time is finished, you just instantly hit the target or hit anyone around you, in case it's an AoE spell or something. So instant. Projectile. Targeted projectile. AoE. Damage over time. And what else? Buff, debuff, or we can keep these the buff and debuff stats as like a list of debuffs and stuff. Maybe we should just, yeah, let's keep this. Let's just create a list here. List of COD spell, buff, public list, COD spell, debuffs. So targeted. I think we should not add the targeted, because we will only have one character for this prototype. We only have one character. While it's fun and nice to code for the future, today we do not need to think about the future. We just need to finish the prototype fast. Right, let's add some comments here. List of buffs. This spell applies to the caster. A list of debuffs. This spell applies to the target / enemy. You'll also need to specify some information for the spell. Let's go here. Public integer base damage. Public integer. We go for the base damage, and you know what? Let's keep it like that. Public list. You know what? COD spell. Oh, COD stats, object stats. Spell stats used for buffs and debuffs. So we also need public float duration. While it's nice to have a duration for each of these debuffs, or oh, we already have one. Yeah, great. So this debuff, or the stat, this stat will be applied for a specific amount of time based on the duration. Then after the duration ends, the stat will be removed, or the values will be removed. So that way we can give temporary speeds, temporary health, temporary defenses, damage, and so on. Or we can remove temporary damage or defense using the debuffs. We also need to add a stat here that's called stun. And after stun we will say, okay, stunned is the state where you can't do anything, and there is another state which is called bind. Bind is when you can't move but you can cast something, right? Like you can break the stun. Oh, you can break the bind with another spell if your character knows or has a buff like that. It will be used if you receive the bind stat. Then your character immediately uses the anti-bind spell, which will remove the bind and then continues the round. Okay. Also, let's leave the stun. Let's leave it to just stun. There's no need for a bind. Let's do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, that's 5 again. 7, 8. Great. So now we have nothing else. Oh, okay, buffs, debuffs. Let's add some functions here. Public pool can use, because each player will have an instance of the COD spell, which is not good, by the way. We should not use instances for each spell. That will just be too many spells in the server memory. But for now we will use instances. We'll say base object. We also need to add some requirements to who can use this spell. First, we will add some kind of class. Let's go to, oh, where's the enums? Enums, stats. Yeah, we'll just add it here. Oh, what? Yeah, right. Public enum character class. Let's just add classes for the characters. Warrior, wizard, let's add fighter. We don't need healers and stuff because they're not really needed. Warriors will be like the characters wielding spears and swords and shields. Wizards are the ones with the staffs, the books, and the black magic. And fighters are barehanded. So fighters will be like the ones with the most martial arts. Yeah, let's just keep it at that. Character class. Object class. Yeah, let's just call it object class. Let's also add this. Remove public. Let's initialize it here. Object class. Create and design. Whoa, nice. Object class. Then we go back to the COD spell. Add the requirements here below the debuffs. Public e character class required class. Also, let's add another class here. Call it none, just in case the spell doesn't require a class or works for all characters. For example, the healing spells and dash spells, things like that. Public the character class. Let's also add What else? Yeah, we can add COD object stats again. Required stats. So with the required stats, we can require specific health, specific levels, damage, or something. So that if the player meets the requirements, we can use this spell, or we can learn this spell. Okay, required stats. What else? What else? Let's see. Public. Maybe you can have some kind of revive spell that after you die, you can have another chance. The spell will revive you, and you can continue the rounds. You know what? That sounds like a bad idea. Let's not do it. Okay, CD spell. You know what? Let's also use something a lot more efficient. Let's see the COD spell reference and spell reference, and here class COD spell. The COD spell, the actual spell will be public integer ID public COD spell reference data. So public void, oh, not public void, public COD spell integer ID, oh, not like this, COD spell reference. Oh, there's a last used. Let's not, or yeah, let's not use last use here. Let's just keep it here. Then we can use this for the actual characters. So when you load up your character, we will load all your spells, and we will give it a reference to the COD spell reference. So this data is unchangeable, or this data stays unchanged. And the only way you can we can also make this read only. Get. Well, we can just keep it as get, so we don't modify it in runtime by accident. Same for the IDA. Right. Let's do this. This is the object trying to cast, and then we need some kind of indicator for the world time, so we can run the server at 30 FPS per second, maybe even 60. It doesn't really matter because we were not running physics, it's just the server loop. Can do it here, 1 divided by 60, that's all we need. Maximum particle time step. Yeah, let's do yeah, let's keep it at 30. Yeah, that means the fixed update runs at 60 FPS. The fixed time. So world time and the object. What else do we need here? Nothing. If meets requirements, return if world time minus last used of greater than data cooldown. True. We can actually can do this instead. Return before we access the data, we just make sure that the object meets the requirements. So meets equals object dot stats. We need a get stats function that will return. Oh, that made a property. Not good. We need a get, or you know what? Public dictionary stats. Just return the stats object. Hopefully we do not modify this. You know what? Let's just create a copy. Every time we access this, we create a new copy. Hopefully this will not cause too many issues. As soon as much as we access this, every time we access it, it will be a new copy of this. Then it will be thrown in the garbage. Anyway, values dot all I dot value higher or equal than data dot required stats get stat I dot stat dot value. Or you know what, we can actually loop this instead. Then we do the same for the character. So it will be object stats. Yeah, that's all we need for the stats. And we add another condition here. Data required class required class is, oh, you know what, let's add a flag. Let's just add a flag here. Flags. Three bit shifting. Yeah, let's keep it as flags. Contains, oh, has flag none, or a character object class has flag required. Oh, the object class required, hold on, data required class has flag object class. That should be all. That should be all we need for the stats. The stats also have the level within them. Let's just go with that. And we need something called a spell database. cd spell database. Spell database public. Let's private static dictionary integer cd spell references static cd spell database. Maybe you can yeah, let's just leave it at that. Let's keep it public static void add spell d spell reference. Okay, if spell reference is null, then we return spell reference dot id equals the spell reference. Let's also do something else. Static spell reference get spell, or you know what, get spell int id. That should return an id and get spell reference. This we can use for our characters when they load into the game. You can just grab all the spells. Also, this will return if try get value. Okay, it knows. Or return default. Default is null. If it's null, then we throw an exception. Spell is null. Null reference exception. Let's also do something else. Public static cd spells array get spells params integer IDs. Then we will do this, these, where, or select get spell to array. Not sure if this works. It should work. Let me look at the chat. Live chat. Participants, it's just me. So that's, I guess, the spell database. What we need to do is we need to create an export method for the actual database that we will be using here. Clash of Dynasties, yeah, I think it's correct. Public static string export to database. String builder, new string builder. For each KVB in spell references. By the way, this can be used on the client side. We can just use it for the scriptable objects and then export it to the database. This will be a lot easier to add spells and change spells in the editor. Okay, string builder, not this one, append line. Yeah, let's leave it for now. String builder to string until we get to the database part. Now we need to cast spells. In a battle, let's look at the message handler. This for authentication. Handle battle request. Public class. Yeah, for the client side, I will just create some basic spells here. Spell reference, I will just create one spell. ID is 1. Base damage is 45. Base damage is 45. And buffs is null. debuffs is null as well. Let's add the cast time and stuff. Cast time is 1.5, or let's leave it at 1. Cast time is 1. Cooldown is 3 seconds. Cooldown duration, there's no duration. Spell type equals instant, so this will function as a basic attack or something. Required class is none. Required stats is null. Required, oh, the spell stats itself is also null. Let's also change some things here. Required stats. We need to check if the required stats is null, and if spell stats is null when we apply the spells. So the easiest way is we do this. If it's null, then we meet all the required stats, so it will just fall back to true and continue with the condition here and check for the class. The class is an enum, so it should not be null. There isn't. So do we have any other? Nothing. Yeah, I think that should work. Now we have spells. Only problem is using these spells. So I will allow the enemy to use one. I will allow myself to use one on the 3rd and 4th round, and the last round the enemy will use one as well. And I will give the enemy basic damage myself. 38. Okay, if we come here, we see a trigger. It's called an attack, because our character has multiple animations for attacks. Let's check the animator. Oh, what's going on? Yeah. Alright. It has multiple layers. So we have the blend tree for idols. What's wrong? What's going on here? Didn't look like that yesterday. Anyway, we have death. We have, oh, what? Yeah, no worries. We have active attack. Okay, let's call this attack spell 1, attack 2, and let's rename this to attack 3. So condition is empty, attack 2, and this is attack 3. Let's look at it. Yeah, looks good. So here in the trigger, we will use round data. Round data. We need the spell for the team that we're currently using. We need to grab the spell really fast. Should not do okay, let's come here and public byte get spell. Yeah, that should do it. Let's also do 1 integer get damage. Oh, you know what? Get get consumable, okay, public integer, get damage. Nice, it's basically just doing the job for me. Then we go here, do get spell, and we just pass in the integer of the for loop. And if we want our character to use a consumable, then we can just get consumable, get damage, and so on. Okay, yeah, team 1 damage is normal. If we wanna do it, if we want to include the spell damage to the get damage, we can also basically just take this value like this, plus cd spell database, get spell, and team 1's or the team spell that we get spell team, and then we just add the base damage of the spell. This should work, but could cause problems here, especially if the spell does not exist. It will return a null value. Then we can do this. And if it returns a null value, there will be null reference exception thrown. So we can double check team 1's get spell team isn't equal to 0. Then we add the damage of that spell, or we just add nothing. I'm really not sure if this is the right way. Spell get damage. So team 1 is dealing damage. I think it's worth a shot. Team is casting spell. Total damage. From data, get spell I is not equal to 0. Yeah, we just print this information, just test it out. If it's 0, it will use the tag 0. What? Oh, there it is. Yeah, let's do this at tag 0, tag 1. Damn it. Tag, please change to. Hopefully this works. Here we go. Oh, nice. It's using the spell. Okay, who's gonna win? Oh, the other character won. The base damage is what? 45? Let's make it 60. see if it's gonna change anything. Also, let's make our character, let's make the enemy which is on the right side. Let's make him use more spells than us. Okay, now their first spell cast. Damn, they dealt a lot of damage. Oof. Oh, I'm almost dead. Damn it, I'm dead. What? What happened there? My health is minus 20 and I'm still attacking. That's very weird. Team 0 is casting, Team 0 is casting. Yeah, that's not right. So what's happening here? I'm sure it's battle ended. Oh, I'm sure it's because of the rounds. And yeah, it's because of the rounds. It did not end. So now this. So now I should lose this battle. This next round I should do. Yep. Yeah, I'm sure I lost. Yes, I lost. Okay, it's easier for me to set trigger death. There is no trigger for death here. Where's it used? Okay, nothing is using the death. Oh, what? What just? What? Whoa, what's going on? I think a duplicate was created. Right. Let's have exit time. And from any state also, let's go to the death state. Just to make it quick. Okay, now the character should die, and it did. But it took a while to just die. Let's remove the fixed duration, and also let's remove it from the idle state. That way we can immediately go into the death animation. Okay, any minute now. All right. Oh, nice. He finally went to his back. But still, it's not snappy like that. It just takes a while for some reason. Cast transition to self. Preview source state. Active, passive. There's another state called death. What? Oh, it's because of the duplicate layer. I've been live for almost 50 minutes. Okay. Okay, still it's very slow. When the active skill is used, it's very slow. Yeah, it's very slow. Let's remove the transition, the exit time, because we don't need the idle exit to be affecting our cast times. So the attack animations will cast immediately. It's still not the same. Okay, let's also add some delays based on the skill duration, the clip duration, which is, where is it? Okay, this one is 3.33. Let's use it here. Round data. Oh, you know what? Let's do something here. Spell reference equals tspell database git spell round data git spell and the theme. So now we have the spell reference. If spell reference, oh, let's get spell reference. Spell reference is private. Should be public. Let's build. Go back to the Unity. If spell reference is null, or we can actually do this cast time, or we can assume it's basic attack, so we just give it 1.2 seconds of the cast time. I think the basic attack, which is this one, yeah, it's almost 1.5. It's 1.4. Yeah, I think 1.2 is very good for it. Yeah, I don't see the time here. Don't see it. I don't think it's actually getting the reference of the spell correctly. I will double check. Okay, the reference is null. Which spell is that? Okay, this round it should get. Okay, there's the reference. Cooldown is 3 seconds. Oh, I did not set the cast time for it on the server side. My bad. 3. Yeah, let's use 3 seconds on the server side. Again, this should be initialized on the client as scriptable objects, just for easy spell creation. Then we can add the particle effects for each spell and things like that. Now my character should die this next round. Yeah, it's still like standing there. Oh, what? Classic Unity just crashed. I did nothing, it just crashed. Hopefully nothing is lost. Whoa, the layout is messed up. Yeah, let's use this one. This one is a lot better actually. Oh, I need the death animation to like. I need it to snap to the death animation. Any state, death, immediate death. Let me check the client code. Maybe it's the problems here. You know what? I have a better idea actually. Let's get the cast time. Let's set the cast time here and wait for half the cast time first. So we're waiting half the cast time, then checking the data again, and then we wait again half the cast time to finish the round. Yeah, that sounds about right. That way if the character dies mid animation, it will play the death animation fast. Let's try. Okay. Okay. Nice. Yeah, that's fast. That's a lot faster actually. Now it doesn't have to wait the full duration of the spell cast time to like play the death animation. Yeah, see, it's coming this round. See, yeah, just the animation plays and then it's dead. Let's also set this as 1.1. Actually, the cast time for the default attack, let's make it half the actual time, because cast time is too long. For cast time, we have to wait this specific amount of times until the spell is casted. Like we have to wait 3 seconds to cast the spell. I think that's incorrect. I think we should add a new variable here. Call it cast duration, like the spell animation time. And cast time is the actual amount of time it takes for the character to start the animation. So for example, let's take a look at the basic attack. So cast time for this one would be 0.1. So the cast actually happens around here. It starts the animation, the actual animation of the skill, and then continues. So the cast animation, so the cast time would be 0.05, 0.08 or something. Then the cast duration would be 0.8 or 0.7. So for the duration of the cast, the character is still casting a spell, and for the cast time, the character is casting that spell, and after the cast time is finished, the character is in a casting state for the cast duration. So as long as the spell is being casted or the animation is playing, that means it's in the cast duration. As for this one, yeah, he takes a while to like do his little circus movement. So I would say 0.17, 0.15, and then for the rest of the duration, let's say 2.2. It would be the cast duration. Yeah, let's do the cast duration stuff. Actually, that makes more sense in my head. I also have that very same system in my other game, which is an MMORPG. It's like that. Let me show you. Where are the spells? Skill system. Yeah, this is the skill system. Spell cast range. Yeah, I have something here called spell lifetime, spell cast time. and there's a cast cooldown, meaning even if your if your cooldown is less than 1 second and your cast time is higher than 1 second, that means as soon as you finish the cast or the animation, you can recast. But there's a spell cast cooldown that limits how many times you can cast the spell in a frame, for example. So this in frames, which is sad. You can only cast the spell once every 5 frames. Some information like that. Right. We have hit parts and stuff. Skill effects. Effect duration. Effects are like the debuffs. Knockback, knockdown, stun, freeze, slow, heal, speed. Yeah, cast time is here's the cast time. And the cast cooldown is 20 frames. There are only 30 frames in 1 second in this game. Yeah, see? Cast time. This is how long it takes to start the cast. Spell lifetime 1.5. So your spell starts casting after 0.3 seconds or 300 milliseconds, and you can cast another skill or another spell after 1.5 seconds. Yeah, I think that makes a lot more sense. There's one here with a very high cast time. Cast time here is also low. Lifetime is 0 because this is an instant skill. Yeah, I guess yeah. Let's use cast duration and stuff. Cast time, cast duration. I would say for this specific spell, casting starts around 0.15. And here 0.15, and it will be 3 minus 0.15. So cast duration is the whole animation duration minus the cast time. Man, I feel like I don't know what I'm doing. Cast duration. Let's use cast duration instead of cast time. How do we rename this? Cast duration. Yep, that works. This is turn-based, so it will not show. As for the cast duration and cast time and cooldowns, they will not work properly in turn-based because cooldown should be in turns and cast duration should be removed, or not removed. The cast time should be removed. yeah, I think cooldown should be made in turns, or we can just use this value as how many turns. I think that's it for today. It's 11 p.m. Should go get some sleep, and then we continue tomorrow.